looks like we are live now.
Yay! Hello!
How is everybody today? Good, I hope. We want to thank everybody who has tuned in to watch our very first ever top 5 ... You got to fill in the dots depending on what they want to watch.
Yeah. Again, we did get this idea from the Watcher YouTube channel. Shane Ryan and Stephen Lim. They do a top 5 listing every week. So I'm a big fan of the three of them. So that's where we got the idea.
Yeah. So it's Shane, Ryan,
Shane Madej, Ryan Bergara, and Stephen Lim from The Watcher.
You said Sean Ryan and...
Oh.
So it sounded like one word. That's why I wanted to...
It's 3 people.
Yeah, it's 3 different people.
Go watch The Watcher. It's a good channel.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. In fact, we were watching their chips.
The chips, yeah. The chips in fast food places.
And we got the idea that maybe we should do our own because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and actually... For the 2 videos that they posted for their top 5, we also listed our top 5.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
And ours were good and better than theirs were.
Yeah. Actually, I had this, for chips, I think we both had, oh no, yours was different. I had the same number 1 chip as Shane Madej, which was Lay's.
Yeah, Lay's was definitely
alert.
on my list. I like
That's
Lay's.
my favorite chip.
And I know it's not my favorite. But I do like Lay's. You can use it with dip or without. And that's what's nice about them. But you take your chip in your hand, literally, when you try to put it in dip.
Yeah. That's why, for me, I just eat it because it's a pretty good salty flavor.
And it comes with plenty of air.
Lots of air. That's my only hang up with Lay's. Like, stop putting so much freaking air in your bags. It's like 50% air.
Yeah.
But, I'm not a big chip either, so it's like I had like 3 chips, like so I couldn't even make a top 5 if I wanted.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
now I want chips.
I have a problem with my legs back here. There we go. Okay, so I hope everybody is staying safe. We've been given the issue here in sunny CA to shelter in place for an entire month of April.
Sunny CA and it's like raining outside.
Yeah, I was making a joke.
Well, it didn't come across that. You just looked ignorant.
Well, no. Some people in other parts of the country are like, oh, I wish we had sun. And I'm like, yeah, I wish we had sun too.
I don't.
Well, it doesn't have to be hot and scalding.
I don't care. I don't
will
like
be in a few months.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. But yes, our shelter in place got extended to the end of May. Yeah.
April.
End of April.
Yeah. End of April, definitely. And it may be longer.
Probably.
Because there's some Zagnuts out there that don't understand.
Stay inside.
You spread this stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And it's... I will say, all those disrespectful little bastards that are out there are now stuck home with their parents who obviously couldn't raise them properly. I'm sure they're pulling their hair out.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't going to say not... all of the blame. You can be a super good parent. Your kid's just a pile of garbage. So I feel bad for the parents in some of those cases.
Some of them, not many, but now it's time to lower the boom.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm okay with spanking your kids.
I am too.
Use a belt if you want. Just don't beat them.
Yeah.
There's a line. Let's not get into that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I never spanked you guys. It was different for them growing up.
Yeah, it was put on your gloves and let's go spar.
Yeah. Because I had a couple of karate schools and had a lot of students, and that's what it was. And I never beat them.
No. You wouldn't even.
I wouldn't leave any bruises.
No, it was like we would spar with him and he'd just be like, oh God, no! That's all it took. That's all it was, like the fear of like, is he gonna hit me? And he never did. So I don't. Some people might think that's a bit morbid, but, you know, I'm not...
Yeah, but most of the time, I just parried everything that you guys, and I just frustrated you.
Yeah, that's true. All you did was block.
Yeah, I just frustrated you.
Yeah, it was very frustrating.
And,
yeah,
I didn't spank him. I think the one time I remember spanking, and it wasn't a spanking, we were at my grandmother's house, and Nikki was entering terrible twos. You were still a baby.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't remember this.
And she went up, and there was something on my grandmother's table, and she went, I'm like, Nikki, don't touch it.
Oh.
And she's watching me just like this. Nikki, and she touched it, so I went over and I went that, and you'd have thought I beat her with a baseball bat. The screaming.
Yeah.
And then my grandmother starts in with the grand tales of what went on with me
Yeah.
when I was little.
Yeah. Hypocrite.
She goes, oh, you were a hellion.
Yeah. Oh.
And I don't know. I doubt it. I think she was exaggerating. I was a grandchild.
Mm-mm.
I was an angel.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
When I walked into the room, the clouds parted, the sun beamed down, and the angels sang.
And God
Because-
looked down and spat on you.
Oh,
Like,
no. He was
Go
greatly
back to
pleased.
hell where you belong.
He was greatly pleased.
No.
Okay.
So what are we doing today?
So today, thank you for everybody that voted for our first top 5 video.
Yay.
I guess we better get back on subject here, huh?
Yeah. It was close.
It was very close. I
It
know
was
by
1
vote.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 vote.
One vote. Yeah. 1 point.
1 emoji
Mhm.
is what it was. So today we are doing our top 5.
Disney villains.
There it is, Disney villains.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna list our top 5. I haven't seen hers, and she hasn't seen mine,
Nope.
and because we don't have these really nice fancy boards that another YouTube channel
The one
has.
they have on the watcher, yeah, the slat boards.
Yeah, we don't have. So
Marquee
we've got to
boards?
do. I don't know what you would call them,
I don't know.
but it doesn't matter. We don't have either one.
Yeah.
So we're writing one at a time.
Excuse me.
But we definitely want to hear what your top 5 are
Yeah.
in the comments.
Mhm.
And share our videos, please. And we want to hear what other people's top 5s are, because there's a lot of Disney movies.
Yes.
A lot going back all the way to the 30s. And then you've got the Pixar,
Mhm.
what's the word? Absorption. They bought Pixar years ago.
What you were doing.
Marvel and Lucasfilm. So they're in 20th Century Fox now.
Yeah.
So that means
I think
the
my
alien queen is a princess.
she'd be a queen. Alien queen.
Well, no, she's got to dethrone one of the other. Yeah, she'd be a queen. But how many queens are in the Disney universe?
It doesn't matter. You can be. There's probably a lot. Elsa's a queen, technically.
She's a princess.
No, she's not. She's
a
literally the queen
princess.
of her kingdom.
She's a
I
princess.
can't believe I'm defending Frozen, but she is.
No, I'm talking about the alien queen. I haven't seen Frozen. I don't care about Frozen.
I
I'm
know,
talking
but
about
if you
the
call
alien
if you
queen.
call her the alien queen, then she's obviously a queen.
That's her last name.
Is it?
No.
Oh, I'm like, are you serious? I've seen Alien like once, maybe when I was 10.
Well, the alien queen didn't show up until Aliens.
Well, it doesn't matter. I give a crap about either one. Like,
Oh. The first one was the best, though.
I think all of my top 5 are strictly Disney. I think all my listings are pre Pixar. And they're all animation.
Oh. No, I'm not sure.
Just so much
Animated,
of-
animated,
Yeah.
animated,
Pre.
live action, animated.
Ooh, you have live action on there.
Yes, I do.
Ooh.
But it was still.
Um,
I'm not going to give it away. Okay, what are you going to say?
I was gonna say I also have supporting arguments for mine. I don't know if you do. If you have like, oh, this is why I really like it. This is.
Oh, I'll expound
Yeah,
on
I have mine
my
too.
selections
Yeah.
as well.
So should we get started?
Okay, why don't you go first, and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Well, we show ours at the same time. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
I also had I had a drawing for this one. I had time.
I didn't have time. I never have time for quick doodles.
You're all over the place today.
Yeah, I had a really bad sinus headache and had to get pretty doped up for this.
Oh right. So.
Hades.
Can I
Alright.
start? I have a very simple explanation for this one, not too in depth. He's just really funny. He's very sassy.
He made Hercules.
He did. The movie overall is like,
Yeah.
But him, Pain and Panic are so funny. And at some point, he's even, as far as like the queer culture and Disney fans go, when they kind of mesh, pretty much a gay icon for like the sassy gay friend. It's hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah. Because he's like, oh, come on, he's a guy.
Yeah.
It's very funny. I love Hades very much.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah. Ooh, piece of candy. Yeah.
Ooh, piece of candy. All right. So mine was Oogie Boogie. Voiced by Ken Page. There is just something, a whole lot of fun about a singing villain. It's, and it's, I mean,
Quite a
if
few of
you're,
them have
if
their
you're
own
lackeys or lock, shock, and barrel,
songs.
it makes you pretty cool. I
Yeah.
like A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mhm.
It's, it's been out and played to death and everything, and I think it's,
Thanks to the emo culture, yeah.
yeah, and I have to say, I think Tim Burton films should be another one, because I would definitely put this Nightmare Before Christmas in probably the top 3 Tim Burton movies.
Well, don't name off where you
I'm
would
not.
put it, yeah.
Um,
That's really hard. Tim Burton, until a certain point, was really good, and then he just kind of, but,
yeah, his early stuff.
he has some really good early movies.
But just remember, he was the executive producer on
Yeah.
this. He wasn't the director.
He did the art, like the concept art, so would that even count technically?
Right, that's why I didn't write Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, I mean in a Tim Burton listing.
Well, it is, because it still falls under
A Tim Burton movie.
executive producer. Well, it's the same thing with Howard the Duck. George Lucas didn't write it,
But everyone loops him in with it.
but it's George Lucas's mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget the director's name, because he also went on to do James and the Giant Peach, which was another
I love
fantastic
that
movie. What was the director's name? I'll have to look it up.
Ooh,
Did
I
a-
love that movie.
Did a great job.
Did Tim Burton also work on that? Yeah.
Yeah,
he
he
did
got
the
credit
art
for that.
for that, yeah?
He got, I think he was executive producer on that, I believe.
Good pick.
Okay, so that was our number 5. Now we're moving on to numero quattro.
And I'm only checking my list for spelling because I don't spell very well. Alright. I can't see yours because it's in my blind spot, but I'm wondering if ours is actually the same pick for number 4. Because I know we have one villain that's the same for our top 5. I just don't know the placement.
Okay. Okay, so this is number 4 of our top 5 Disney villains.
1, 2, 3. Radigan. Oh! That's a good one!
So, I know some people aren't a fan of The Muppet Show or Sesame Street or anything like that.
I love
Muppet
that
Treasure
movie.
Island.
Such a
Oh
good
my
movie.
God. It's a blast. And Tim Curry as Long John Silver, how can you go wrong?
That's also his favorite role. Out of
It's-
every movie he's done, that was his favorite role.
This was just an easy pick for me.
I love
I
that movie
wish
so
I could have
much.
put it a little bit higher, but you'll see
Mhm.
why I put him where he was.
Mhm.
I mean, he was Long John Silver. I mean, he just captured
Mhm.
and enthralled everybody with that character. I mean, you could tell that was his favorite role.
Yeah.
I mean, he just,
The songs in that one are so catchy too.
yeah,
And not in like an annoying way. Like I love Tim Curry.
Cabin Fever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
That's a good one.
Tim Curry. Long John Silver.
Yeah. Growing up, this was one of my favorite movies.
How can you go wrong with
Yeah.
Vincent Price?
Vincent Price
And this character,
is such a pompous.
Well, they had other
He's-
characters in mind and other design concepts. In fact, John Cleese wanted to voice, was being considered for Ratigan.
I love John Cleese, but
Yeah. And this was one of Vincent Price's dreams come true. He always wanted to voice a Disney character.
oh my god.
Later on, he showed up in Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
But this, I mean, he got to sing,
Yeah.
and they designed the character. Originally, it was supposed to be a scrawny, weak type villain, but when it was Vincent Price, they redesigned the character entirely to be big and massive and strong to go with that baritone voice that he has.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But no, this is another very simple reason on why he's one of my favorites. Because it's Vincent Price. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. And it's actually just a really good character. He's a really good character.
Let me give you a little side story on this. We actually, my wife was working, so it was Nikki, Batty, and myself went to the movies, and we always sat in the back. And I'll tell you why. This was the one and only time when I was younger in high school and everything. A lot of times we went to the cinemas. We screwed around with people. We'd throw ice, we'd throw candy, we'd throw popcorn. We were asses. And
Yeah, no, the heavens totally parted when you entered the room. You were great.
yeah. It happened. So these two were really on me about, let's see, and I'm like, no, because both my daughters do not have poker faces.
No.
They cannot keep a secret, which is good and bad. When you're doing what I was about to do, you gotta have a poker face. So there were some people sitting off to the side, and I didn't have any Skittles or anything, because that's normally what I would throw. We had popcorn, which I wasn't giving up, so it was ice. So I loaded up my straw, and pooh! And these two fell out. Yeah. And I'm sitting there playing it off, and they're hysterical, and they're looking right at us. And I'm like, that's it. We're not doing it again. The whole point of doing this is not to get caught. And
Was that for this movie?
that was that movie. We saw it in the cinemas.
I remember doing that. I just never remembered what movie it was for.
The Great Mouse Detective.
That's so funny. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to point out, I would so not be okay with doing that today. It's just not, I'm like, that. To me, it's just like so rude, but at the time, I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I don't know. We don't have a poker face, my sister and I.
It was great. Birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day. One of us would come home, and it was, guess what we got for you? We have a cake. And the other person, whether it was myself or my wife, hey, it's a surprise.
It's still like that. For me, my sister doesn't celebrate birthdays or holidays or anything anymore. I still celebrate Christmas. Like, birthdays, kinda, but Christmas is still big with me. And although I don't spoil what I get for them anymore, it's the temptation to tell them, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for you to see. Like last year, I got you that shirt, the clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was so happy with it. And when I got it, I was just, oh my god, I wanted to tell you so badly. And it was killing me. Because I got it I think I got it a month in advance. So it was torture to not be able to say anything. It was awful. I'm horrible at keeping secrets.
It's always fun around the house. Or in cinemas. So I hope everybody's putting together their list, because we'd really like to see your top 5 Disney villains. And if you want to expand on why, that's fine. There's a lot of room in the comments section.
Oops.
Okay, so
Okay.
now we are on
Number 3.
number 3 of the top 5 Disney villains. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 2.5,
Oh.
3. What did you get?
Oh man,
Oh.
I got a mem.
Okay, so I went first on number 4. You go
Okay.
first.
All right, Cruella de Vil. Also, one of my favorite movies growing up was 101 Dalmatians. She was such a batshit crazy character that I really liked, but also she's very animated, but the premise of her character is so realistic to people who are obsessed with like collecting fur and stuff that I think it's kind of people like her still exist today, which I think is kind of important. So I think the whole premise of her existence is really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very realistic, even though she herself was a very animated character.
Yeah.
I also hated her sidekicks.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hated those two so much.
Yeah, Ping and Pong or Ding and Dong, whatever their names
I liked
were.
the live action one only because was it Hugh Laurie played one of them,
Yeah,
and I love
Hugh Laurie.
I love Hugh Laurie. That's the only reason I liked
That's
them in the
right.
live action.
He was a villain. It's interesting because it was a great movie,
Oh, the
Anime.
style to that movie.
and Walt Disney hated that style.
Yeah.
He hated it. And it was because of the way they Xeroxed the artwork. He liked it a lot smoother and a lot cleaner, but I think it added another level to the animation.
I love the style.
Especially
to that
the car
movie.
chase. When they were
Yeah.
chasing, when she was actually driving and chasing the Dalmatians in the
The truck?
box truck. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, animation.
Madam Mim from The Sword and the Stone.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't much to say
Oh
here
my God.
say about her, but she's crazy.
Yeah.
She is. She's a nut, and the Merlin Madam Mim
Oh, the relationship? That battle?
and the battle
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
That was a fun movie overall. Like, I remember
yeah.
Nikki and I would just lose our minds at that squirrel scene where she bit the wolf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ran up the tree, started screaming at that. Yeah.
It's just so funny. I don't know why we laughed so hard every time.
Yeah, we had to keep playing that scene back again
and
and again. But
just the noise.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it was funny.
Madam Mim.
She's cool. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, she's the best, and the way she gets defeated.
Oh, by the virus.
Yeah, that's good. Now everybody knows.
Oh, whatever.
Now everybody knows. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay. That movie's like.
That's 2 for you this week, isn't it? There's that.
Oh, whatever. But this one is like that's like a almost 30-year-old movie. I don't want to hear it.
Not everybody has seen it.
I don't care. That's not my problem. All right.
Moving on.
All right.
Are we ready? This is number 2.
3, 2, 1. Oh.
Lady
Oh.
Tremaine. Yeah, I did the Evil Queen.
And I did Lady Tremaine from Cinderella.
What's there to say about the Evil Queen? She was creepy and devious and self-centered and
Bane.
narcissistic.
Yeah.
And change herself into that hag and pass around poison food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very devious.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Evil Queen. I mean, it's. I had to put Evil Queen as number 2. I mean, she's just a classic Disney villain.
Yeah. Yeah. Very. She's one of the like when you group together Disney villains, she's definitely in like the top.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think it was hard going forward, trying to create a villain who was as evil and sinister as the Evil Queen. But I think they did a pretty good job with creepy Tremaine.
Lady Tremaine. Okay. Cinderella, it wasn't one of my like all-time favorites growing up, but I did recently rewatch it. And I don't think I appreciated the movie for what it was overall. I definitely liked the movie. And Lady Tremaine, again, kind of like with, probably more so than Cruella, but she's, the premise to her character is also so realistic when it comes to emotionally abusive people. Not even just parents, just people in general. So I think with that level of, and like how they put her in the light.
Oh, yeah.
How they do the lighting on her really brings out how evil she is, even though she has no powers. She doesn't do anything like that. She's just a bad person.
Yeah.
And it's so good because there's no magic coming from her at all. It
was all presence.
It was all presence.
Shadow, eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they zoomed in on her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was done really well, just to show and emphasize how abusive she actually was.
Yeah.
And I think is one of those reasons where it's like you take out like the fantasy and everything, she's just a nasty person, and there's so many people like her around. And I think I think her character was really good.
Yeah.
All right.
So now that I'm looking at this word, I hope I spelled it right.
All right, hang on.
I'm sipping Joe. Sipping the Joe.
I'm not spelling that whole.
Juan Valdez, mi amigo.
Shut up. I'm not spelling that whole word. The whole title. No way.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
3, 2, 1 for number 1.
Woo! Oh, you spelled yours different than I did.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, I wonder if I spelled this right.
I keyed mine in. I think mine's spelled right. For once.
How'd you spell it?
Ratigan.
Okay, that's how I actually spelled it here. I was like, I think that's wrong. So I spelled it wrong here. All right. All I'm going to say is, and that's why there's only one word, there's no number 1, it's Ratigan. Yeah. Number 1, Vincent Price.
We've been
Great
over
Mouse
it.
Detective. That's
been
all.
Over it.
Even if you hadn't had it on your list.
Mm-hmm.
One word, Ratigan, end of story.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Frollo.
A very disgustingly underrated movie. It is so good, and the only negative that I have for this movie are those damn gargoyles. You could have taken it out and those characters out, and the movie just would have been so somber and depressing. And I think that's
part of why they put him in.
Yeah, and I almost wish that they did, just because the movie itself is really dark. It is really dark. And he ties in with Lady Tremaine in the fact that he's a very realistic villain. And when you add on the premise of religious overtones...
Especially during that time period.
Yes.
They wield a lot of power back then.
Yeah.
And, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's a really good example of the abuse that comes with religious power. And again, he's a very realistic, manipulative person, and again, very present in today's society when it comes to people using their religion as a grounds to do horrible things.
Yeah. And not all religion,
No.
religious people.
Yeah.
No, I just want to make sure we have, we're not singling out
any religion or any one particular person.
It is a person. It is extremism, and it's across the board. But when you get that, then you get the power,
mm-hmm.
and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, and he's such a good character, and I love the art style to this movie as well. I also just recently watched it once we got Disney Plus. This was I think this was the second movie I watched after Peter Pan. And yeah, it sucks that it's so underrated, because even the soundtrack to this movie is dark, and it's so good.
Yeah,
Just I want an edit of this movie where they take out the gargoyles.
absolutely.
That would make the movie like perfect and have no down points for me. Because, and even the premise of the actual movie, the good guy doesn't get the girl. That cliche is not there, you know. And they had, I never watched it. They had the second one where he did have a, you know, he got married and had a kid or whatever. But yeah, definitely a good movie and my for sure my favorite villain.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. I also like the Jester. He's really
when
cool.
you guys were little, no, Dad, it's Notre Dame.
It is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
It's Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. And then you probably have French people who pronounce it completely differently.
Yeah. French. Okay, so those are our top 5 Disney villains. You may agree with some, you may not agree with some.
And it's okay if you want to be wrong. That's fine.
Yeah. She's wrong.
No. Although I was right, we did have Ratigan for both our lists.
Yeah, you have to have Ratigan.
Yeah.
But let us know what your top 5 favorite are. Should we talk about our next Sunday's top 5?
Yeah, our next Sunday's top 5 is going to be vintage comedy.
Vintage classic comedy.
Yeah.
Teams
or individuals. It's both. So I don't want to list off anyone just so we don't, you know. If you don't know what that means, then just watch the next video.
Vintage. So how far?
I'm not good with dates. Anything that's black and white, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the dates. I just know who I have in mind. We might have to look at the dates in order to give a better idea.
I've got one that reaches into the 60s, and it's color.
I mean, it can be color. It's fine. Again, I don't know dates very well, but I think at some point it stops being vintage and starts being modern. I just don't know where that cutoff is.
You want to cut it off at like 1969, 1970?
That's fine.
That'll be our cutoff, 1969, 1970. And unfortunately, that covers a whole lot still.
It does.
A lot.
But luckily, I haven't watched as much as you have, but I definitely have my favorite.
Yeah.
I have my number 1 favorite, which is why I wanted this listing. So, yeah.
So next Sunday, our top 5 are going to be...
Vintage comedy.
Cut off at 19...
Vintage comedians, vintage comedy teams.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know a good umbrella word for that.
Yeah.
Vintage humor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Vintage comedians.
Vintage comedians. There we go.
Classic vintage comedians.
Classic and vintage, I think, is a bit redundant.
Classic and vintage. That's
vintage.
what we'll call it.
Vintage. Vintage comedians.
Oh.
I guess that's what I should have named it. Oh well.
The other thing we're going to start promoting is a lot of people have been posting it around. We're going to partake. 6 characters. 6 characters. We want to hear from you which 6 characters you would like to see Batty draw and myself draw.
You know what? We should just do this for our top 5s. Our first one should be our top 5 Disney villains, and then we'll just pick a 6th one. Because I have my 6th one. Should I say it, or does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. You're 6th.
The villain from Pocahontas. Horrible villain. I don't like him as a villain.
Oh, the governor?
Yeah, but the premise to his character, again, very realistic.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of his existence is, you know, very depressing. So he was my number 6, but because my top 5 characters were actually good, as far as like quality characters go, he didn't make the list. There's no way I was gonna put him on my top 5.
Well, we can do that if you want.
I think that'd be cool. And
I have a hard time drawing cartoon characters, but it's a whole different. It'll push me a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we'll do is
I'm gonna struggle for the next one.
What?
I said I'll struggle for the next one, so it'll balance it out.
You mean drawing the
vintage?
Next...
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
You're not doing that?
No.
Oh, quitter.
No. We'll do this.
What a baby.
We'll pick and choose. Because oh my God, no. Oh God, no. I got a couple movies in mind, and no way.
No.
Oh God, no. It'll turn into a whole nother project.
Well, I think half those vintage characters at some point had a cartoon version of themselves. Most of them did. Even Looney Tunes parodied a lot of those.
Oh, absolutely.
So you can always do those. I'm just, it was just an idea. We don't have to. It's fine. Or you don't have to. I think some of those characters would be cool in your style.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Oh God.
He's not going to do it.
So when we're done with these, we'll do a live auction.
Do it.
Oh God. Oh, God.
Live auction, you said?
Yeah, we'll do a live auction. We'll auction them off.
That'd be cool.
And then we'll do.
I might, since our first one's Disney villains, I might add a little bit of color to mine, which means it would be one of the few things I actually hand color, because I don't like doing color.
Right.
But, I don't know, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be, especially since we're doing animated characters, throwing out a little color. I'm not. That's just more work for me. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to this now. I think mine are going to look cool.
Okay, so.
God forbid they all turn out looking like my Hades. Ah!
Yeah, but Hades came out pretty good for a quick sketch.
Yeah.
I can do a quick sketch.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, these are sketches.
They don't have to be. It says,
well, you
give
don't
me 6
sketch.
characters to make fan art of. So it doesn't say quick sketches.
I'll do the art for mine. Can you do the writing for mine?
Yeah.
My writing is so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Okay.
I'll do the writing.
Cool.
So,
and I'll go over it with the color. Sorry, I'm just like talking out loud.
No, that's fine. So,
we're gonna auction it off.
Yeah. Do you want to do these? Do you want to do a live show?
Yeah,
next week or sometime this week?
For this?
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on how
when we're done?
how long it takes you, because I can knock this out in a day. I don't know about you. So
Yeah,
whenever you're done.
Well, I knocked that commission out. Please don't say what it is.
Cute.
I knocked that commission out in basically a day.
You did, yeah.
So
it might take you two or 3 days.
I'm thinking maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
So we can do it this week, like on Thursday, do a live show.
I do miss the live shows. I did want to record these, but I do actually miss the interaction.
So do I.
So I think we might do these live.
I think the only thing...
Which is hilarious, because we were like, we don't have time to do live, but since we're in quarantine, what else are we going to do?
Yeah, well, the other thing is, we're not saying, we'll be on at 5, we'll be on at 5, we'll be on at 5.
It's when we can.
We'll go live when we can, absolutely.
Yeah. I do miss going live, so we'll probably do it live.
So, I think I might do 1 or 2 sketch covers too, so we have a couple of pieces of artwork to put up.
Okay.
But I got to get the other commission done, and then get all that shipped out, and then so that one I should be able to get done by tomorrow, and that'll give me time to get this done, and so yeah. Worst case scenario will be our next show next Sunday. What day would that be? Today is the 5th.
Oh, that'd be the 12th.
Oh,
that's the day I go back to work.
Yeah. So we'd have to do it in the evening because you're probably working in the morning.
Probably mornings. That's gonna be freaking hard. Because I got put back on the morning shifts in the bakery, which means I gotta get up at 2 a.m. Oh, that's gonna be a miserable few days. Whatever.
Well, you can start practicing this week. Just set your alarm like 30
Yeah,
minutes.
I'm not doing that.
And then you go back to 5, 4, 3, and then at least you'll be used to getting up early.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could do that. That's not that bad.
No, could be worse. You
So
do it
start
the
with
first
6?
day. I would.
I mean, I typically do it the first day, and I'm fine once I wake up. You said start at 6, like tomorrow morning, like set my alarm to. Oh no, it's kind of.
Yeah, I would do start Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday. All right.
So, okay. So worst case scenario, you won't see us again until next Sunday when we do our top 5
vintage comedians. I didn't know you were pointing at me. You're like right in the blind
I
spot.
tripped her up. So there you go. Again, leave the comments for your top 5, and
If you have a
share our video.
reason, yeah.
Yeah.
If not, that's fine too.
And please share our videos, like, comment, and pass along the good word. We greatly appreciate it. Everybody stay safe out there. The creeping crud is still encompassing the planet, and it looks like this week may get even worse with
the
several
rain.
states on the East Coast.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like New York is a hellscape right now.
Yeah. And Louisiana is getting bad, and we've got a few states that are, well, it hasn't happened here, so we don't need to stay inside, and now they're
Oh,
getting them.
have you seen the poll where it's like everywhere in the Bay Area, San Francisco is one of the best, and Solano's the worst. Solano's one of the worst for the
Containment?
yeah.
Well, do you know we were the last county before it became a statewide thing, even though we were ground zero
Yeah.
for the state?
So I hate Solano so much. They really dragged their butt when it came to actually putting everything in place. Also, I saw where I think it's Italy.
Mm-hmm.
One of their rules were no, it was the UK. If you go out shopping, you only need one person. So I think that's pretty interesting because we definitely haven't been doing that. My mom tends to go shopping and I go with her. But it's a good point. You definitely don't need 2 people. But there are like whole families going. You don't need that. Maybe 1 or 2 people, and if Italy is keeping it as well contained as England, yeah. If they're keeping it as well contained as it seems like, then maybe we should switch to doing 1 person going shopping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like I can go shopping instead of her because she doesn't need to be out.
Yeah.
But
Well, it'll be easier when you're back at work too.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
there it is. Everybody be safe is the bottom line.
yeah.
Take care of yourselves, and it'll trickle over to everybody around you. So there it is. I think we're done for now. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
And I hope you enjoyed our top 5 Disney villains.
Minus all the ramblings that we did. We went off topic a few times, but it's fine.
And I hope you enjoyed them.
Mhm.
I know I enjoyed mine.
I love mine. I can't wait to do this. That's gonna be
That's
so
a great
fun.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna do that after this. I'm like so excited
I get
for
the
it.
commission to knock out.
Well, it
So-
sucks for you.
There it is. Thank you again. Everybody have a good week and be safe. And we're done.
Governor, I don't remember his name. Yes, that's it.
All right.
What is-
Everybody be good.
Oh, yeah. I was like waiting for you to get up and turn it off.
No, I'm right here.
Bye.
Bye.